What's up, everybody? It's Marc Anthony back with you with Kasey J. We're doing a little World Cup video. We're going to be splitting this up into two parts. First part, we're going to be doing the first round. We're going to be covering who we believe will be advancing from the groups. We also would love for you guys to get involved with us. We're going to be doing a free scarf giveaway. It's real easy to enter this raffle. You got to do one of two things, and you can actually enter twice. You can either share this video on Facebook, and you can also comment on our YouTube channel. Go ahead and let us know who you think is going to win the 2018 World Cup. It should be a fun one, a lot of new teams in it. So again, share this on Facebook for one entry into the raffle. Comment on YouTube on this video. Let us know who you think is going to win. We'll be giving away a free scarf of the national team or even the club team of your choice. Does not matter. The winner we will reach out to and see what scarf we will be buying for them. So with all that said, what do you think about this tournament going in?
Disappointed the USA is not in it. It's got to be my first comment, obviously, but. You know, I think there's a lot of good teams. I think it's going to be a good tournament altogether. The World Cup is always a fascinating event. It's good to see the top players from around the world come together and play. I think there's a few, really good teams to look out for. We'll get to that in later videos. I won't say too much because I don't want to spoil those. But I think there's some very, very top-notch teams. And I don't think there's a set winner, in my opinion. I think there's teams that if they get the right path to it can win this one. So
yeah, absolutely. I feel like I would say there's about 10 teams that I would feel okay with somebody predicting to win. So I think it's open in that regard, but it does depend on where these teams land in the knockout stage, in my opinion. So with that said, we'll be having a part 2 to this video that will also come with a really awesome prize, and we'll talk about that next video. But we'll get into it, guys. Again, let us know who you think on our YouTube channel, who you think will be the winner of the 2018 FIFA World Cup, which the U.S. will not be participating in. So, all right, Group A. I think that Group A has a few interesting teams. We have Russia, Egypt, Uruguay, and Saudi Arabia. I would say, Russia, they may not have qualified if they weren't the host nation, but with that said, they are the host, and the host usually does well. Who do you have, what two teams do you have advancing from Group A?
This was a tough group for me. It's one of the tougher groups. A lot of them I have, pretty cut and dry. This one, I'm going to say Uruguay wins it. They're probably the best team in this group. They have great players. They're a good team. I think they definitely go through on this one, no problem. For me, the big decider is going to be Egypt and Russia. Russia's a team, like you said before, I think they're 11 games without a win coming into this. They're not the best team. They don't have the biggest names, but that doesn't always matter in these World Cups. Sometimes a good team can be a good team. Egypt, heavily reliant on Salah. They do have some good other players. I think it's really going to come down to Salah's fitness on this one. Salah's fit. He's playing at his top. Egypt. But he's injured. Russia. And as a Liverpool fan, I just don't think Salah is going to be fit. So for me, it's going to be Uruguay and Russia going through.
So Uruguay 1, Russia 2.
Yes.
Man, the Liverpool fan here, I know it hurts them going against Salah, but like you said, you make a great point. For me, I feel the same way about Uruguay. They're the cream of this group. I think they're actually going to win all 3 games. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if Suarez actually led the tournament in goal. Him or Cavani, just because of the way that it's set up right now, you can see them scoring a bunch of goals in the first round. But Uruguay, I would say is at the top. And for me, I'm going with Russia, number 2. Russia, they didn't have to qualify. Their friendlies have not been impressive. This has nothing to do with the Russian team in general. This has more to do with, like you said, Salah's fitness. He is a great player. Absolutely. He might be the best player in the world right now. It's totally unfortunate that he is probably not at 100%. I know Egypt is saying that he's going to play. I know that he will likely play in all 3 games. But for me, it's kind of like how, being a Portugal fan, Ronaldo last tournament, he wasn't fully fit. Yeah. They tried to play it off like he was, and that's just where I'm at. They rely so much on Salah, so I'm going to say Uruguay 1, Russia 2.
So Group A we agree on.
Yeah, so Group B, looking into it, I'm obviously heavily invested with Group B. For me, it comes down to, I know that Spain and their coach have parted ways right before the tournament starts.
Very dramatic.
Very dramatic. He took the Real Madrid job. It did not sit well with the Federation. He's gone. So, with that said, Portugal, Spain, Morocco, Iran. I do not believe that it's going to be as easy as a group as I think a lot of people thought when the draw came out. They're like, oh man, Portugal and Spain have a cakewalk through this one. I think Morocco's a tricky side. Iran, interesting team. They had 10 qualifying games. They scored 10 goals. They gave up 2. They scored a goal a game. Their head coach is Carlos Queiroz. He is the former Portugal national team coach. So with that said, I think Spain will advance. It hurts my heart saying that as the top seed. I do think they're just a little bit tidier in the back where even if they are even with Portugal on points, they'll probably advance because of differential. So I'll say Spain 1, and then my boys, the Portuguese national team, with Ronaldo and Bernardo Silva, I think will finish second. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you summed up a lot of it in that. Morocco and Iran are both teams that you probably don't expect to go through, but both very good defensively. You kind of pointed on it earlier. They haven't let a lot in. And for me, I think, unfortunately, I hate to say this because you're a Portugal fan, but for me, it's Portugal and Morocco is where I'm kind of like, Morocco may be able to do it. They're a very strong team. Iran, also good, but I think Morocco might be able to do it. But I'm going to agree with you. Spain makes it on the first one. Coaching change and all that. They have good players. They have a good team. They have some strong figures that have been in that team for a while that can lead them through this coaching change. So I don't think it'll be a problem for them. They make it out first. Portugal squeaks it out. CR7 does it for you guys.
Yeah, and don't forget who the European champion is. I know nobody out there has forgotten, but in case you did. All right, so moving on. We have Group C. Group C, I think, is going to be a fun group. I like the mixture of teams. We have, Australia. We have France. France is a favorite. They're one of the teams that is favored to win the entire tournament. Then we have Peru, who a lot of people did not believe they were even going to qualify from South America. And then Denmark, who poses Christian Eriksen, one of the best players in the English Premier League, Tottenham star. I think he's hitting his stride. He's 26. He's hitting his peak right now, so great timing for him for this World Cup. Group C, what do you see with this group?
Well, I think you said it earlier. France, they're an amazing team. Some people would even say they may be the team to go all the way. Now, for me, maybe they have players that are in great teams, but they don't have the experience on the international level for me. They'll make it through this group. And I'm just going to get it out of the way and say they're obviously number one going through this group. Because they have talent. They have Mbappe, they have Giroud on the team, they have Pogba on the team. I mean, from front to back, they have talent. Lloris, I think I'm saying his name wrong.
Dembele.
They have talent.
They have crazy talent.
So we'll get that one out of the way. We'll get Australia out of the way. I don't think they're making it. So it's between Peru and Denmark to me. And you said it earlier, Eriksen, for Tottenham has been amazing. He's been a great player. Denmark also has a good team to back it up. Peru maybe got a little lucky to get into this. USA did give them that opportunity with a real bad defeat. So maybe they're a little lucky, maybe I'm a little biased. But I'm going France and Denmark. I think Eriksen makes a difference. Just like CR7 did in the last round. He's that player, that talisman that's going to make the difference in this one. Yeah, France, like you said, they're such an interesting team. They have great talent across the board. They're attacking talent with Griezmann, Mbappe, Dembele. I mean, they even had to leave some great players at home, like Martial. Yeah.
So They're great. I mean, they did lose to Portugal in the Euro Cup final, so they were pretty close from coming in as European champions, entering the tournament. For me, I'm not confident in their coach, Domenech, or Deschamps, I should say. Excuse me. I'm not too confident in him down the road in the tournament, but I do think that they are the class of this group. So they should. I don't know if it's going to be like 3 wins, but maybe 7 points will get them in. Maybe they draw to Denmark or something like that. But for me, I think you said France and Denmark. I differ with you. I'm going to go with Peru, and I'm going with the hot hand right now because collectively, they're just a very strong team. They don't have a standout player. In fact, they don't really have a notable player. They just have 11 guys who went through South American qualifying, very tough region to qualify in. They don't give up a lot of goals. Even through their warm-up games, I was very impressed with their results. They're not going to play the most beautiful game, but they grind it out. And I think that they can frustrate Denmark enough. That's going to be the pivotal matchup, right?
It is.
Like, I think whoever wins that game, if they draw, all bets are off. But if one of those teams wins, that's who's going to get the second spot. I'm going with France and Peru for Group C. Moving on. This might be my favorite group of the entire tournament.
It's an interesting group, to say the least.
We have Argentina, Iceland, Croatia, Nigeria. Let's just let that sink in for a moment. Argentina, who almost pulled a USA and had an embarrassing dismissal from qualification, they qualified. They have Lionel Messi, who might be the best player in the world. He's probably the second best player in the world, but regardless.
That's depending on perspective.
It's not. But he's the second best player in the world. I'll give him that. He's a great player. So we got Argentina. They struggled. Iceland, who absolutely was awesome in qualification. They had a tough group in Europe. They came out cream of the crop. Smallest nation in the world. I think they're everybody's favorite team who doesn't have
a little bit of heart.
Like, even though, like, for me it's Portugal, US is not it, so I'm going Portugal, Iceland, right? So everybody likes Iceland. Everybody likes a thunderclap. 300,000 people live in Iceland. I mean, that's like half the size of Sacramento. Moving on, we have Croatia. Croatia, very good team led by Luka Modric, basically the engine of Real Madrid. They pose a really good midfield. They're going to be a tough team. And then Nigeria, who definitely have the best uniforms of the entire tournament.
Oh, they're so amazing.
They're so sweet. It's ridiculous.
They're going to sell out the day they release.
If we don't show a graphic on this when we edit this, you should definitely check out the Nigeria kit. If you want to check them out before,
we'll put a Nigeria kit somewhere in like this area.
Before they start, you can even put it over my Portugal kit.
We'll put it with Nigeria kit.
Yeah. So Nigeria, they're an interesting team. They're probably the African team that is, I would say, the most consistent. They're usually at the World Cup. I'm going to get right into it. I'm going to take a lot of heat for this. A lot of people are going to say that it's my disdain for Messi. But if there's one team, one heavyweight that I think will fail, it's Argentina.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And it's not a personal thing. I think Argentina's a good team, but there's a couple critical factors that led me to this spot. One being Argentina, they had one warm-up game. They had 2 canceled games. They played 1 game together in the last 3 months. Yeah. They had trouble qualifying. They got in by the skin of their teeth. They have a tough group. It just seems like the perfect storm where, if they get a bad result to start off the tournament, you never know. Their defending is not the best. They're always susceptible to getting scored on, and they're playing 3 teams who can score goals. They could win the tournament, or they could be the biggest name to fall off the group stage. So with that being said, I got Croatia leading this group. And I say that because of their stellar midfield play. They have some stalwart players in there. They have some young talent. I think they're going to be a very strong side. I am most confident in them advancing. My second team might be a surprise, Nigeria. Nigeria and their sweet kits.
I can see it.
And Nigeria did knock off Argentina 4-2 last December when they had a FIFA friendly. So we'll see what happens. I want to see Nigeria. I'm pulling for them. I want to see those kits in the knockout round. So what do you think about this interesting group?
I think you said a lot about it, but for me, Argentina just has the firepower. I think their individual talismans are going to pull them through this. Iceland doesn't really have anyone of notice. Kind of talked about that. Nigeria is.
They got Sigurdsson.
Nigeria is a good team. There's some good players on there, and I think they're definitely going to be a team that'll challenge. But I think Argentina will make it through. I think they're going to be the first to make it through. And I think Croatia, you said it, is a good team. And the other teams are good, but I think Croatia's just a little bit better. So I'm going Croatia in this one. So Argentina and Croatia are going to make it through for me.
Yeah, I could be completely wrong. Argentina, I mean, they're not just Messi. They have Di Maria. They have Higuain. Like they have great attacking players. My only issue is you never know what you're going to get from their defense.
And you don't, but I see their individual talent being too much for a couple of the other
I have a
teams.
feeling that some people are going to comment about my prediction. Bring it. I'll wear this one if Argentina, gets all 9 points and they make this group look easy. I will take all the heat. So
you never know. It's that old debate: does talent win you games, or does teamwork win you games?
Yeah.
Because there's been great teams. We saw the Leicester City the other year, a couple years back now at least, where they won the league on no big names, but they had the talent there.
Team.
You never know.
And I think this is a tournament too. The World Cup is a tournament where I think coaching and that there are players in the world that are better national team players than, let's say, club team players, and vice versa. So we'll see what happens. This is going to be an interesting group, and I think a microcosm to the entire tournament. So moving on to Group E. Brazil, Switzerland, Costa Rica, and Serbia. Before you get into your predictions, what's your general outlook of this group?
I think it's an easy one for Brazil. I think the rest of it are all teams that aren't going to do very well overall in the tournament. So I think it's going to be a battle between them. I think it's an okay group. I don't know. I'm kind of iffy on it. Costa Rica, they're from the CONCACAF region, so I'd like to see them do well, but I can't really think they're going to get out of this one. Serbia, they're actually a pretty good team. They're not bad. I think they have a chance. I think it's going to be Brazil and Switzerland for me. Switzerland, it's a pretty good team. They have I can't pronounce his name. He plays for Stoke.
Shaqiri.
Shaqiri, that's it.
Really good player. A nice little left foot.
Yeah, and I think he'll be a player that's key for them getting out of this group. Like we talked about with Eriksson before. Mm-hmm. I think he'll be key. So I think Brazil will get it. They're just a talented lineup. I mean, Firmino, Coutinho, Neymar. You got
Jesus.
There's so many talents in Brazil. I mean, it's so Brazil, Switzerland for me. I think that's where it's going to go in this one.
Yeah. And what about what you were talking about before? Are you rooting for Costa Rica being a CONCACAF team, or are you kind of like, I don't really care either way?
I'd like to see Costa Rica do well. I like to see all CONCACAFs do well. Just it promotes the region.
Yeah.
I think I'm really throwing my hat behind Mexico more in that region than I am Costa Rica. I think that Mexico has a better chance of doing better. We'll get to that in the next one. But Costa Rica is a good team. So they can stay defensive and they can get some wins. I don't think they'll be demolished in this group. I think they'll compete. I just don't think they'll make it.
So you have Brazil running away with it, and then Switzerland coming in second?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's a lot of people would agree. What do you think about? You think Brazil is the favorite overall?
It definitely. I think
I mean, depending on knockout round, right? But I mean,
let's not jump too far ahead of ourselves. But Brazil's going to be in this tournament. We're going to talk about them in the next video, for sure. So.
Yeah, I have a lot of Brazilian friends that would love to see them win. Some of them are actually already saying that they're loading their 6th star.
Well,
you should say.
They said that last year or the last World Cup in Brazil.
Do you remember what happened in that tournament?
They took a couple big losses.
7-1.
Yeah, just defeated the Spirit there in Brazil. So we'll see. It's a common story. I would say honestly, the Brazil team now is better than it was then.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say there's players that are coming in on a lot more confidence than there was then. So I'm going to give Brazil more credit this World Cup than I did on the last one.
A little less pressure not playing at home?
Definitely. A little less pressure not playing at home, too.
Yeah. Okay.
They're gonna be in this competition. We're gonna talk about them in future videos for sure.
For me, Brazil's they're gonna win this group. I mean, I think that of all the group winners that we've predicted and will predict, I think if they didn't advance, it would be the most shocking. Not necessarily because they are the best team, but this group is set up for them to win and get ready for the next round, you know? So I don't see too many problems for them. So I got Brazil. We do differ on our second team. I have Serbia actually over Switzerland, but it was between those two for me.
Serbia's a good team.
I think Costa Rica, I mean, they got Keylor Navas, but he only can do so much for them. And Brian Ruiz, I think, is still like maybe their best player, and he's a part-time player for Sporting in Portugal. Like I just think that they're like a team that's a little past their prime, you know. Yeah. Brazil and Serbia. Serbia is a very quietly, what's the word? They are just very businesslike. I think that they will just kind of beat down Switzerland, and like not beat them by 4 or 5-0, but I mean kind of just break their spirit and win a 1-0 game or something like that. So Brazil, Serbia for me. Moving on to Group F. And I think this is going to be a group that's very interesting to many of our subscribers and supporters. Germany, Mexico, Sweden, South Korea. Very solid group. When the groups came out, I think that people immediately said this was a group of death. I think some people have kind of backed off of that, and now maybe the Argentinian group is the group of death. I don't know. I think it could go either way here. Yeah. But this is a solid group.
This is a hard group.
This is a hard group.
This is some good teams.
For me, Germany, I mean, they've been in the semifinals for, I feel like every tournament since I've been alive, and then probably every tournament forever, they've been in the semifinals at minimum. I think that they have a solid team. Again, a great team. They're one of the odds-on favorites to win. I have them winning the group. Now, the second team, Mexico, Sweden, South Korea, I think Mexico and Sweden are not in the best form right now. Sweden qualified by knocking out Italy. I don't know if you recall, but they knocked out Italy in that playoff 1-0. They won 1-0 at home and then went to Italy and got the shutout there, 0-0. They're a tough side. No Zlatan, unfortunately. I know everybody's...
Won't be as entertaining.
Oh, I know. My buddy Chase out there, I know he loves Zlatan. He's a huge Swedish supporter, so... Unfortunately, he'll be doing his thing though with the Galaxy. He's been killing it lately. But we have Mexico and Sweden. I'm gonna go with Mexico. I think that they'll do enough. I don't think that they're built for long-term success in this tournament because I question their strikers right now. But I'm gonna go Germany, Mexico. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm with you. Not to jump the shark here, but I'm going to go Germany, Mexico as well. I think that's going to be the finishing. Sweden is a good team, not the best team in the world. I think that Mexico gets the result against them and gets it on. Germany sweeps this one all around for me. South Korea is a good team as well. They may surprise you. They may beat them out, but I think overall Mexico is going to squeak it out. They're a pretty decent team this year. There's some good players on that team as well. So Germany, Mexico is going to be mine in Group F.
And it looks like we agree on that one. So moving on, Group G, we have Belgium, Panama, Tunisia, England. What do you see here?
This, for me, is a fun group because I think Panama can actually stay up there and challenge. I think they're a very good team, a defensive-minded team that can play games out and get results. So I really think it's between Belgium, Panama, and England. I always pronounce this one's name wrong.
Tunisia
is not a team I see going on for sure. I really think it's going to be Belgium's going to top this one and England's going to top this one. Belgium is kind of like France, a great team of really good players, but are they going to be able to play like a team? Are they really going to get out there and show it? I think they'll make it through the group, no problem, and I think England will also make it. They have a young squad as well but I think they'll progress to the next round.
So you got Belgium, England, or England, Belgium?
Belgium, England.
Okay. For me, I'm going to... Same two teams, different order. I got England, Belgium. Basically exactly what you said. Belgium has great talent. England also has great talent. I think English players are a little bit better structured, and I think Harry Kane will lead them to at least maybe around a 16 quarterfinals minimum, but definitely to win the group. Belgium, I question their coaching tactics. I question their long-term in this tournament, but let's be honest, if they don't qualify over Tunisia and Panama, if either of these two teams don't qualify over Tunisia and Panama, it would be a disastrous tournament for them. Yeah. So that's what I see. Moving on to Group H, the last group, Poland, Senegal, Colombia, and Japan. This is a interesting group, to say the least. I'm going to start it off by saying I think Colombia will win the group. I like James Rodriguez. He's the guy in this group to look out for. Colombia's got a very good team with they have a kind of a full team, not just James Rodriguez. My second team to back them it was tough for me. I'm going with Senegal. Maybe a little bit of a surprise, but your boy Sadio Mane, I think, will be a standout in this tournament. I like him to outdo Lewandowski for Poland and get the second spot. So I got Colombia, Senegal. I don't think Japan's going to do anything at all in this tournament. What do you see from this group?
Yeah, we're a bit short on time, so I'll just sum up what I think on this group. I think it's a very open group. I think any team really could go through if they have their day. I don't think there's any one stand-out team, in my opinion, at least. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to go with Colombia as the number one in this, and I agree with you. Senegal also is going to make it through on this. Poland's going to come close, though. Poland's going to put an effort in.
Always a threat with Lewandowski on the field, right?
But Colombia and Senegal, they're making out of H for me.
All right, guys, so this is the end of the first round predictions. Please share this. Comment on YouTube. Share this on Facebook. 2 chances to win a raffle. You will get a scarf. It'll be a World Cup scarf. It'll be a club scarf. Whatever you want, whatever team you want to support, we will send it your way. Go ahead and let us know what you think about this video, about our predictions. Tell me how terrible my prediction is that Argentina is going to crash out. Tell Kasey how amazing his predictions are.
Like always.
Tell him how upset you also are about the U.S. not making it. I am definitely upset as well. But hey, Portugal, keep in mind that should be your team to root for if you don't have one. Anyways, we love you guys. Hit subscribe down below. This is our channel. We love you. See you soon.